afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Much better, obviously.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yes, I was relieved that it was just one day I had a meltdown and then now I'm able to function, so.
Good. That's good. You know, we all have those days. Right?
Yes,
So,
we all have those days regardless of whether someone has PTSD or not.
yes, for sure, yeah. Might make it worse, but yeah, good that you took the day.
Yes. How I coped was actually, rather than sleeping a lot, I exercised a lot during these last 3 days, after we met. So that's why I'm feeling better.
Yeah, that's good. That's a healthy coping mechanism. That's very good.
Thank you very much. So, it is totally okay if my presentation does not open because I will be able to, spontaneously talk.
Okay.
So I'm moving. Oh. Oh, that's weird. Oh, here it is. So first slide. Obviously, because this is for the honors college. Yes, I wrote first page is foundations interview between Cheryl Huang and Dr. Gravit, Thursday, October 26, 2023. So the second page goes on to talk about my background and, because he asked why I chose someone or, what I know about this person. So it says, I am pursuing an undergraduate psychology degree, planning to go to a graduate school for either educational psychology or higher education leadership, taking a world literature class with Dr. Gravit during the fall 2023 semester, will become a KSU professor and sees Dr. Gravit as a role model.
Excellent.
The third slide is about the interview. So, Dr. Brain Gravit has been employed by KSU since the fall 2021 semester, equating to almost 3 years by now.
Yes.
The workplace, has around 40,000 students because he asked me to provide some background about your workplace, KSU.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He's a full-time lecturer of English. That's your position.
Yep.
And obtained a PhD in English from Tufts University and a bachelor's degree in language and culture from Georgia Tech.
That's me.
Yes. And her previous workplaces include what?
You can say Tufts University and Bentley University. I can put those names in the chat if that is helpful.
As full-time professors, correct?
At Tufts, at Tufts, I was a lecturer, and then at Bentley, I was a visiting assistant professor. Actually, I was also, I don't know how much detail you want, but at Tufts, I was a lecturer. I was also the director of the Women's Center. Yeah.
Great. E1. So may I ask, what is the Women's Center about?
So the Women's Center, there's something kind of like it at KSU. Let's see. Let me pull up KSU's version. It's similar to the Women's Resource Center at KSU. Basically, it provides like a social and educational space for students on campus who are interested in like women's issues, right? Or feminism more broadly. We did like, we had working groups, we had like social outings, we did trainings for things like gender inclusive language. Yeah, we did all kinds of stuff. We had lots of events. Yeah, so there's one at KSU, and I'll put that link in the chat. That is somewhat similar.
No worries. Right after this meeting ends, I will also send this PPT to you so that if I wrote something incorrectly, it's very okay to intervene.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
So, what else? I'm actually having my rubric pulled out so that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It says content will be evaluated by how it applied to your career aspirations or interests, and if you have specific quotes or infographics, I think that's what it says here, per honors values. So for each of the 8 values, we will go through. Yes. So the first value is leadership, and what I know to be true about Dr. Gravit is she exhibits leadership by obviously giving weekly lectures. What else?
So yeah, I there's a couple of ways to answer this question, right? So
yes.
As a professor in college, yes, you provide leadership to your students, right? You lead your students through your classes. You help them understand the material. You are there as a sounding board for their ideas and to answer their questions. But you also serve in other leadership capacities that are service related. So I am currently the co-chair of the English Lecturers Caucus. So I lead that group.
Can you write that in the chat?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Chair of English Lecturers Caucus.
Students.
And that is an advocacy group that, well, let's see, it's a group that advocates for the specific concerns of lecturers in the English department. I also am putting together a student poster symposium, a diversity and inclusion focused poster symposium. That I'm the chair of that committee as well. I'm actually I'm a chair of a lot of committees. I have a lot of hats. So let's see. I'll just put a number of things in the chat, and you can sort of take what you want.
Yes, it's okay.
Let's say lead organizer.
Whichever information, I'll just appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you remember the full name of the Honors College? It's like the Journey Honors College, is that right?
Yes.
KSU Journey Honors College.
Yes, correct.
Okay, lead organizer of the upcoming English Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Student Poster Symposium. Sponsored by the English Department and the KSU Journey Honors College.
I had no idea that you are involved in the honors college too.
Not really. This is just the symposium that I'm putting together. We're getting co-sponsorship from the honors college. They're just sort of helping with us with it. They're providing some snacks.
Oh yeah. So, yes, now I get that it is an indirect relationship, not,
Yeah. And then, let's see, I'm just going to say, has, served in a number of other leadership positions in her role. As lecturer. Yeah, I think that looks good.
So, the second value is critical thinking, and what I saw in Dr. Gravit is that she by setting a word count limit of 250 and direct quotes from the novels that encourages critical thinking. Other ways she demonstrated critical thinking were that let's see, she provides. Oh yes, it's true about all professors, of course, but Dr. Gravy provides rubrics for all writing assignments. Critical thinking. Oh yes, in particular, Dr. Gravy excels at making students provide original quiz answers, because quiz answers are written responses, so it's very unlikely for someone to cheat. Some other classes have multiple choice questions that they copy each other.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I know that wouldn't be worth it. Yeah. So, and like if we think about being in the position of a professor, sort of more broadly, like the critical thinking that you will ultimately be doing as a professor, like you're not just you're thinking about the best ways to impart information to your students and the best ways to get your students to think critically, right? So you need to be able to think critically about the material that you assign, and you need to be able to foster that same critical thinking in your students, right? So like the whole, like I would say, of the values, of the honors college values that we're discussing today, critical thinking is perhaps the most important to a professor, and is the one that really, like, the reason I think why a lot of people get into the profession of, academia, why people go into academia is because they enjoy critical thinking, and they, enjoy finding ways to get other people to think critically about issues that are important to them. Yeah. And like you said, that sort of translates to our class in many ways. One, just assigning works that are outside of the general knowledge and comfort zone of the students, which is them to think critically about their own worlds and how they relate to the ones that they're reading about. Yeah, all kinds of things. I could talk about critical thinking probably all day.
Yes.
But hopefully that's helpful.
Oh, I got a great idea. So one way Dr. Gravit fostered critical thinking among students was that, unlike some other classes where we strictly learn about that subject matter, Dr. Gravit has, because the novels we read, sort of have a lot of history, sociology of race, education, and power, colonialism, post-colonialism.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are usually not touched on in other classes. For example, in statistics class, it's strictly about calculations.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yes. So what I want to say is Dr. Gravit also, by incorporating critical thinking, students become more empathetic and understanding of other cultures.
Yes, exactly. That is the whole purpose.
Yes, whole purpose of world literature, because unlike American literature or African American literature, world is even more broad, so it encourages interdisciplinary learning.
Yes. Very good.
The fourth, I believe this is, yes. So the third value is professionalism.
Yes. So professors need to exhibit professionalism in a number of ways. One, they need to be professional authorities on their subject matter so that students can learn from them, right? They serve as role models to their students, and therefore need to conduct themselves professionally. There's like continuing your education on certain pedagogical methods, right? Like learning more about online pedagogy, or sort of becoming a member of a number of professional organizations, like attending conferences, like, yeah, so something you'll learn probably in grad school is that, like, you have to publish, right? You've got to write stuff, you've got to publish. So you've got to do a lot of research, and all of that is sort of under professional development, and, like, you need to basically sort of join a number of professional organizations for your, to, like, both learn about the conventions of your field and also to get your name out there, right? To sort of like make yourself known in the field as well, right? And all of that requires becoming a professional in the field, right? Like developing those professional skills, being able to talk to other people about your field, both within and outside of it. Yeah, so there's a lot there.
So
does that all sound good?
Sounds good. And what I will add is based on those things you talked about, professional development conferences and conducting themselves professionally to students. I have something to add. So from my observation, Dr. Gravit, because she is a co-chair of this thing, she she showed that she builds a rapport with other professors. So by consulting those other professors about how to present